Carriage Kia in Gainesville and Woodstock has up to $6,000 in rebates right now during the summer sticker event. New 2019 Optima, Sorrento, Sportage, Stinger, and Forte. 66 months, 0% for qualified buyers only at Carriage Kia, Gainesville and Woodstock.
Shots ring out at a football game. What happened and why?
And it's been 6 months. Can you stay safe as the pandemic drags on?
We'll have all these stories and more coming up on the Wednesday's edition of the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast.
It pays to know your doctor, it pays to know your lawyer, and more than ever, to know your local real estate professional. Hi, I'm Glenn Drake with Drake Realty with 7 offices in Metro Atlanta, including 2 right here in Cobb County. I'm the proud leader of over 700 agents here in Georgia. Drake Realty makes the home buying process seamless from contract to close. Our agents are a little different. They're not pushing for the quick sale and close. They're pushing for the best price and terms for their clients. In other words, Drake Realty fights for you. And right now, with the lowest interest rates that we've seen in 30 years, now's the time to buy that dream home, vacation home, upgrade, downsize, or a new home your family deserves. A lot of real estate agents talk big. Let my team at Drake Realty prove they will fight for you. I'm Glenn Drake, and I'd be honored to have my team serve you. Visit us online at drakerealty.com. And remember, it's not how quick you sell or buy, it's how the deal sets up your future.
It's Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. Welcome to the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast. I'm your host, Darren Sutherland, and thank you for joining us.
And I'm Amanda Lee. The Gwinnett Daily Post podcast is your hyper-local news source brought to you 3 times a week by the BG Podcast Network and the Gwinnett Daily Post. But before we get to today's headlines, here's a quick look at today in history.
In 1945, Japan surrendered, bringing an end to World War II.
64-year-old Diane Nyad makes her record-setting swim from Cuba to Florida in 2013.
And in 1969, the banking world changed forever with the opening of the first automatic teller machine. Now, here's what's making news today.
Gary Perkle Park in Sugar Hill was the site of a shootout Saturday night after a football game. City officials say an adult football league rented a field at the park for a game, and a fight broke out about 10 p.m. The fight escalated to members of the 2 teams exchanging gunfire. Luckily, only one person sustained minor injuries during the incident, but the person was later taken to Northside Hospital, Gwinnett by family members. The league has been banned from using the park in the future. Gwinnett County Police continue to investigate the incident.
A new report addressing the top 10 COVID-19 college towns in America is out. It highlights a few schools Gwinnett County residents attend. They include SEC powers Auburn and Ole Miss. However, they also include 2 Georgia towns in Milledgeville, coming in at number 5, home of Georgia College, and Statesboro, coming in at number 6, home of Georgia Southern. Also note, due to this, the Georgia Southern football team has suspended all practices for now. You can get more information about this in the Gwinnett Daily Post website.
The Gwinnett business community showed their support of outstanding working women last week as part of the Gwinnett Chamber's annual Moxie Awards. The Chamber honored 7 award winners and more than 80 finalists during a luncheon on August 28th. The Moxie Awards have been presented for the past 3 years as an opportunity to recognize women and organizations who are bold in business and give back to the community. Organizational awards highlight companies that support the advancement of women, as well as those that are women-led.
Individual awards honor women who are trailblazers in a male-dominated field. Gwinnett County champions, emerging leaders, professionals who are at the peak of their career, and those who are generous with their time, talent, and resources. For a complete list of this year's Moxie Award winners, visit GwinnettDailyPost.com. School lunches have come a long way since the brown bag. We'll show you how to keep things cool. And listen up, one Gwinnett County history teacher made history, coming up right after this message.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia.
Hey Atlanta, this is Jay and Lewis, owners of Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Lewis, what should a homeowner do if they have a crack in their block wall, corner of their door, window, or concrete foundation?
Well, Jay, if it's a diagonal crack, this lets us know that they should be concerned and there could be a serious problem. Then they should call our office at 678-ESOG now and set up an appointment to have one of our qualified professional technicians come out to their property to take a look at the problem.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research already, so you don't have to. You can trust Engineered Solutions of Georgia.
Give Engineered Solutions of Georgia a call at 678-ESOG now.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia. We guarantee a stable, dry foundation. Dial 678-ESOG now.
A Central Gwinnett High School history teacher is making waves in her community this week. Kara Slayton was recently named the Georgia State 2020 History Teacher of the Year. According to the Georgia Department of Education, Slayton creates a classroom atmosphere in which history is directly connected through students' lives. Ms. Slayton is a teacher who constantly goes above and beyond for the Gwinnett County community and Central Gwinnett High School. Congratulations for receiving this honor, Ms. Slayton. Speaking of local education, the Gwinnett County Associate Superintendent Jonathan Patterson is leaving Gwinnett County Schools to become the new superintendent of the Fayette County Public School System in Fayette County, Georgia. The change comes after Jonathan has served Gwinnett County for more than 24 years. His career serving Gwinnett includes area superintendent, principal at Norcross High School, and assistant principal at Decula High School, just to name a few. Congratulations to Jonathan, and thank you for all your service in Gwinnett County. Last week on the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast, we shared tips on how to pack a delicious and nutritious lunch. Now let's make sure it's safe. Here's more with USDA correspondent Gary Crawford with information chosen just for you.
What a strange start to this school year. Normally, by this time, school cafeterias would be sounding like this. But this year, who knows? Some schools are opening with students coming to class as usual, others going to school a few days a week, home learning the rest of the time, others totally at home, at least for the first part of the year. But if your kids are actually going to class, you may need to be packing their lunch for them to take, and so
we're really just trying to recommend food that'll be safe no matter how kids are going to be having lunch this year.
That's Crystal Okanta, food safety expert with the Agriculture Department's Meat and Poultry Hotline, the number of which will serve you in a minute. But what to serve young students during the school day? That is the question. And of course, the answer, first and foremost, is to pack
things that'll stay safe, things that won't go bad during the school day.
Or that we can keep from going bad. But these days, with insulated lunch boxes and bags, cold gel packs, almost anything can go into that lunch. And yes, Crystal says unless you are packing peanut butter, jelly, and chips, something like that, you don't want to use the old-fashioned brown paper bag anymore.
Especially knowing that lunches can be sitting out for so long, it's really important to pack them in an insulated lunch bag so that your food will stay cold, so that your student doesn't have to worry about whether their food will stay safe or not.
Two ways to guarantee that.
One is putting a frozen gel pack or ice pack in the lunch bag, and another is just putting a frozen juice box or bottle of water to go along with the lunch. That way you automatically have two cold sources, one that'll be a great beverage that goes along with the student's lunch, and the other that's going to make sure to keep the food cold if you're going to pack anything like cold cuts that do need to stay cold so they stay safe for your kid.
Because when the temperature of perishable foods gets up above 40 degrees, any bacteria that might be on or in those foods can multiply to levels that could cause illness. So yes, with the right treatment, almost any food can be packed safely for school. However, Crystal has a suggestion to start the school year with, at any rate.
Since school schedules are so changeable right now, start with something easy. Start with something like peanut butter and jelly or, any of those condiments that don't need to stay cold to be safe.
Do that at least until you know just how long it's going to be between the time your kids leave for school and the time they get to have lunch. That way you can gauge whether or not it's possible to keep perishable foods cold enough long enough to be safe. And right now, here's something else to consider packing with that food.
Hand sanitizing wipes or even a bottle of hand sanitizer, anything to make sure that your student knows to wash their hands and keep them clean before they sit down to eat.
And after they eat as well. If you have questions about this or any food safety type question, call the experts at the Meat and Poultry Hotline, and here's the number, 1-888-MP Hotline, 1-888-MP Hotline, or live chat at ask.usda.gov, ask.usda.gov. Gary Crawford reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Oh my, late for class.
In Gwinnett County sports, we want to send congratulations out to Jahmai Jones, the first Wesleyan High School graduate to reach the major leagues. Jahmai was drafted in the second round of 2015 and was called up by the Los Angeles Angels just this week. He served as a pitch runner in his first game. Congratulations, Jahmai Jones. Thank you for joining us for the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast, your true hyperlocal news source.
Grab a copy of today's paper and visit GwinnettDailyPost.com for complete details on the stories we've discussed, plus more stories that affect you and the residents of Gwinnett County.
Subscribe and share this podcast to get all the latest hyperlocal updates, or ask Alexa or Google Home to play the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast for you.
Share your thoughts or questions with us in the comments section, or call the podcast comment line at 404-997-8655. We might share your comment on an upcoming episode.
The Gwinnett Daily Post podcast is produced by BG Ad Group. Amanda Lee, producer. Jacob Sutherland, director. Copyright 2020. All rights reserved.
Brought to you by Toccoa Falls College in Toccoa Falls, Georgia. More information on TFC, call 706-886-7299 or visit them online at tfc.edu. That's tfc.edu. Since 1907, TFC, glorifying God through seeking and developing leaders who will impact the world for Jesus Christ.